Welcome back to Daily AI News at Let's Data Science. It's 22nd August 2026. Today, we're diving into some pivotal developments from the future of machine intelligence to major product launches. Let's get to it. Our top story today: NVIDIA says its AVO agent has achieved a perfect 100.00 RHAE score on the public ARC AGI 3 benchmark. AVO, short for Agentic Variation Operators, completed all 183 levels across 25 environments using 6,624 environment actions. NVIDIA says that was about 12% fewer actions than the comparison system Vista. The result is especially interesting because AVO uses Claude Opus 5 as its primary underlying model. NVIDIA reports a 30% baseline for Opus 5 alone, compared with 100% for the complete AVO system, which adds persistent memory, supervision, and tool use. That comparison suggests the agent harness can materially change measured performance, although NVIDIA did not provide controlled ablations showing exactly how much each component contributed. AVO was originally developed to optimize GPU kernels, where NVIDIA says it explored more than 500 directions and produced performance up to 10.5% better than Flash Attention 4 on DGX B200 systems. One important boundary remains: this perfect ARC AEI 3 result applies to the public environments, not a hidden evaluation set. So for engineering teams, the takeaway is less about declaring general intelligence and more about evaluating the entire agent stack, including memory, tools, action budgets, retry policies, and state management. Staying with NVIDIA, the focus shifts from agent architecture to an unusually large software transaction. Newcomer reports that NVIDIA agreed to pay $6 billion for a non-exclusive license to Poolside's model development software. The same report, citing a Poolside investor letter, says NVIDIA is separately investing $1 billion in Poolside at a $12 billion pre-money valuation. The distinction between licensing and acquisition is important here. The reporting describes Poolside remaining an independent company, while NVIDIA gains rights to its model development tooling. The Next Web additionally reported planned job offers for Poolside employees. For NVIDIA, that structure could provide access to specialized technology and talent without requiring an outright purchase of the startup. For Poolside, the combination of licensing revenue and new investment would represent substantial financing for its remaining operations. But the terms remain reported rather than confirmed through an official NVIDIA or Poolside announcement. Newcomer is the primary source cited for the investor communication, with PMENS and the Next Web providing additional coverage. For anyone tracking AI infrastructure economics, this is worth watching because a $6 billion non-exclusive software license would be a major transaction in its own right. The next confirmation to look for is first-party disclosure, clarifying the license scope, investment terms, and any associated hiring arrangements. From model-building software to the capital needed for physical compute, Nscale is reportedly preparing a major public market move. Bloomberg reports that the London AI cloud and data center developer is seeking to raise as much as $3 billion through a United States initial public offering, potentially as soon as September. The timing and terms are still under discussion. Dealroom reports that Nscale has told prospective investors it holds about $51 billion in total contracted revenue. It also says Nscale has 831 megawatts of active and contracted capacity across facilities, including projects in Norway and West Virginia, while working toward adding 10 gigawatts of power. Those numbers require careful interpretation. Contracted power and revenue are not the same as operational GPU capacity. Grid connections, construction, accelerator procurement, cooling, and networking all determine how much compute can actually be delivered. Nscale has already raised substantial capital. PYMTS reported a $2 billion funding round in March at a $14.6 billion valuation and another $900 million in financing announced in July. If an IPO filing emerges, key details to examine will include customer concentration, capital expenditures, debt, power commitments, and how much of that reported contracted revenue depends on future facilities. For now, the $3 billion IPO remains a reported target rather than a finalized offering. As AI systems gain more tools, infrastructure risk turns into application layer risk. Adversa AI has disclosed a prompt injection technique called cryptographic context injection, demonstrating a proof of concept against xAI's Grok web chat browsing workflow. The technique places encrypted instructions on a malicious web page and induces the model to decrypt them inside its code execution environment. According to Adversa, the recovered instructions can then lead Grok's browsing workflow to construct and open an attacker-controlled URL containing private conversation context. The register reported that the demonstrated data could include a user's name, course location, subscription tier, and conversation prompts through URL parameters. Adversa says it first reported the Grok finding to xAI and its HackerOne program on June 3rd, followed up in August, and could still reproduce the chain on August 19th. The register says xAI acknowledged the June disclosure but had not provided a mitigation timeline. There is an important evidence boundary. This is a proof of concept, not documentation of exploitation in the wild, and Adversa withheld operational payloads from its public write-up. The defensive implication extends beyond Grok. Developers of browsing and code execution agents need provenance-aware controls that continue treating transformed or decrypted content as untrusted, while limiting outbound network destinations and preventing sensitive context from flowing into tool calls without authorization. On a related software security front, TrendAI Research has linked 14 Trojanized NPM packages to the RedC2 Linux implant. Its analysis describes a loader hidden in otherwise functional date-related code inside index.mjs, followed by the RedC2 framework, which it calls RedShell. The Hacker News independently reported the 14 package count and Linux payload. The reported AI component belongs to the command and control workflow. It does not mean an AI service caused the original compromise. Teams that installed affected dependencies should use the published indicators for focused package and endpoint review. From compromised infrastructure to infrastructure in orbit, StarCloud has announced a $250 million Series A extension at a $2.3 billion post-money valuation. Manhattan West led the financing, with NVIDIA, Benchmark, EQT, and Cisco Investments among the participants. StarCloud says total funding since its 2024 founding now stands at $450 million. The money will support manufacturing, engineering work with NVIDIA, and launch capacity for orbital AI compute, including StarCloud 2 satellites targeted for rideshare launches in 2027. Back on Earth, DeepSeek is expanding its agent stack with DeepSeek V4 Flash Vision XP, an experimental multimodal API model supporting mixed text and image input. DeepSeek says it preserves DeepSeek V4 Flash's text capabilities while adding visual understanding, with DeepSeek Harness version 0.1 supporting the release. Vendor-published benchmarks place it near Anthropic's Opus 4.8 on several agent tasks, although it trails on others. DeepSeek also added a Files API for reusing uploaded images, with images billed at up to 384 tokens each at V4 Flash pricing. From model APIs to consumer AI platforms, Apple has cut more than 200 jobs across Siri, Vision Pro, immersive video, gaming, and software engineering teams, according to Bloomberg. Roughly 100 positions reportedly came from the Vision Pro organization, with about another 100 affecting Siri and software groups, including Intelligence Systems Experience. Apple confirmed that existing roles are affected while saying it will also create new positions. Reporting connects the Siri reorganization to its revised AI architecture, while Vision Pro and Vision OS are not reported to be discontinued. Shifting from device AI back to the physical layer, NVIDIA has made a minority investment in Cloverleaf Infrastructure as part of a partnership for United States AI data center sites. Cloverleaf says it will use NVIDIA's DSX platform to evaluate site selection, power, cooling, computing, and facility design earlier in project planning. Neither side disclosed the investment amount. The announcement also provides no GPU quantities, deployment dates, or customer contracts, so it signals deeper NVIDIA involvement in power and site planning without establishing near-term compute capacity. And finally, Supermicro says its independent board-led investigation found no evidence that current senior management knew of an alleged scheme to divert restricted products. The company terminated employees in sales, technical support, and Business Development for failures to follow policy or its code of conduct, and says it adopted recommendations to strengthen export compliance. Supermicro continues cooperating with authorities, and the separate government investigations remain ongoing. The company's internal findings, therefore, do not resolve the underlying government matters. And that's your AI briefing for today. The landscape is moving faster than ever, and we'll be here to track it with you. For more insights, visit us at letsdatascience.com. Thanks for tuning in, stay curious, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest in AI.